Yeah.
You know what time it is. Let's go. If you ain't out here representing no money, what you stand for? Sit me down for some conversation. I can't stand, bro. We ain't gotta talk long, homie. What you paying for? Set you up for a couple dollars. I can't stand, bro. You ain't out here representing no money. What you stand for? Sit me down for some conversation. I can't stand, bro. We ain't gotta talk long, homie. What you paying for? Set you up for a couple dollars. I can't stand, bro. Represent the struggle, the hood. I come from real money. In my video, I'm flexing. It ain't no deal money. Never will explain all the jargon, all the bill money. Got a couple plays with a ball in the field running. When I touched down, I took off. And yeah, I'm still.
What up, though? OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Happy Saturday to everybody. Yeah, man, it's my dude Smooth, AV Smooth I'm listening to. It's called Stanford. I just was up there interviewing him yesterday about his journey at the barbershop he worked at, from his journey from being locked up and incarcerated and doing all that time to coming home and pursuing his music, and as well as being a licensed barber. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't see nothing wrong with him. My bro getting to his grind. He happily married, came home, got married. He done been having, a couple of kids, so he blessed up, trust me. And it's funny because a lot of dudes I know came home. As soon as they come home, pop off a couple of kids. Like, I know 3-4 of them, right? It's a blessing. This particular episode, right, I was like, man, going back and reflecting on, like, damn, what did I want to share with them that was, crazy. And this story particularly rings with young dudes, right? Young white dudes. Because when I got to GR Cotton in the summer of 98, after I got kicked out of Lakeland Correctional, went to the hole for the first time, right? To segregation for the first time. When I get to the yard, I got acclimated again. Some of my brothers from the previous location was there, right? Like I said, Spike X, Jabbo X. I think that was it. But I ran into Skip Murder, the legend Skip Ivy Bowen. So anyway, yard was popping. The bag had dropped, like I was explaining to y'all, right? Pops had pushed the bag on us, and everybody had some money. You know what I mean? As far as getting money on the yard, that was messing with us with the dope and whatnot. So they was wilding out a little bit. You got dudes who was sending money home, a lot of money home, taking care of lawyer fees, taking care of bills, taking care of responsibilities. I'm in the queue where good brother Malik, and I ain't even gonna lie, I don't remember too many other people in that queue with us besides Malik. And I want to say he was out of Jackson or something like that, right? But this young dude was in there with us, and he was across from Malik, but across from me as well. So mind you, going to queue, we got the Cadillac bunks. I speak up, single bunk. You don't got no bunkie, so it's not a bunk bed. Excuse me. And then when you step on the other side of the queue towards the window, you got double bunks, which is a bunk bed, right? So I'm in the Cadillac bunk. I'm chilling, headphones, my little TV. Up top, this little young, like kind of he wiry, but he cocky. Little young white dude named Scotty. Scotty had like a fade on the side, and he had that thing where you could pull it back into like a ponytail or whatever. But he used to wear these little braids, and they used to have the crisscross braids and all that. And he was a little tough ass for the most part. Always talking slick. Always, want to rumble with somebody and play like a little bad brother that you got to, my man, shut up sometime, bro. Sit down sometime. You got to remind him that you got grown man strength and put him on his back and all that type of stuff. But then he had a street edge to him, too. He walked like, he had to, and then you could tell he had been around brothers. He had been in the streets. You know what I mean? He had been, if he wasn't fully fledged in there, he learned to watch and, you know what I'm saying, emulate the style very well. So that was cool because it was always good to have somebody in the queue that was younger than you. And I'm gonna tell you a story about that. They had my date of birth off by about 9 years, so they always had me as 9 years older than what I actually was. I had my birth date 1967 instead of 76, so I always was getting pushed in locations where older dudes was at. That's kind of how I stay out of a lot of garbage too. That's another story though, right? So I'm in this laid back cube, so it's always kind of nice to get a young dude that was in your age range to come, even if y'all from different cities, different ethnicities, all that was always cool, refreshing. Get in there with Scotty. And he wanted to stay up all night. You could tell he was a little tweaker in the street because he wanted to sleep in the daytime, be up all night, sit looking out the window, writing stuff down, flicking through books and magazines. You know how annoying that is? You know what I mean? Middle of the night. And I don't sleep very hard. I sleep light. I've always been a light sleeper. So I got to pop up a lot of time. Dog, would you put that, man, bro, for real though? Do we got to like fight in the middle of the night for me to get some sleep up in here? So we up there, we got cool. He was telling me about his little chick at home. I forget her name, but he showed me pictures. Now, this story funny because it reminds me of a story a situation I went through previous before I got to that location because it's so similar. But this dude had a nice little young lady at the crib. He was fond of her. I guess they was in love with her. That was his little girlfriend, and he was waiting to get back to her. She was waiting for him to come back home. Now, if y'all remember the story when I told y'all about how the pack hit, had that strong pack hit, and dude started relapsing. And I told y'all the story about the OG who was on the bed nodding, and I had to put his stamps and his blow packs up for him, right, in the sock for him, and how he hugged me the next day. Now, he gambled. Scotty used to gamble, so he used to call. He had found him a partner. When you get a good partner in there, whether it's spades or whatever else, and you gambling and y'all on the roll and y'all can communicate well, and y'all know when I play this, you come back with that, and crack him in the head with that. You understand what I'm saying? It's always invaluable in them situations because some dudes, that's how they eat. That's how they get their bread and butter, by being proficient at having a gambling hand. So this dude, Scotty and my man, I don't want to say his name, they got real tight as far as that gambling, getting to the bread. And Scotty used to come in there and be like, "What's up? Let's cook up." He'd throw me some stuff, cooking up with Whoop, go down there, bro, break bread with him and get him what he had as far as his cut. And yeah, and then we would all kick it, like walk the tracks together, go to chow together and whatnot. So months go by. Scotty started working out with us a little bit, but he'd tap out quick because we used to be in there on animal stuff. You know, if anybody remember me and the dudes that I worked out with in any terms of my incarceration, y'all know what I'm talking about. We used to go ape. So, anywho, Scotty, you could tell he was bothered about some stuff, like, and I think it was that girl. You know, at the time, looking back, I'm like, damn, it might have been that girl that was bothering him, and like what she was doing in the streets and how depressed he started acting. Um, so one particular night, my dude Malik, I was talking about, who's on the other side of the cube in the top bunk, he ended up, because he used to be up a little late too, sometime with us chopping it up. So he ends up coming home. I mean, coming in. I'm saying home. He coming in from work because I think he was in the kitchen or something like that. So he come in late one particular time and about to get him a shower, like most dudes do when they come back from their work detail. Come in, get your stuff together. You might throw your little cook up stuff to whoever if you ain't already had it already ready. Have somebody warm it up for you if it's already cooked up. You know what I mean? So that's the protocol. Everybody got their routine. Everybody in the queue respects each other's schedule. You give a dude his space for his privacy to get dressed or get changed or whatever. Boom. So I'm about to slide out one particular time, and it's getting late. So Malik run in. I gotta go to take care of something and get some, some money from a dude that owed me that's riding out. So he said I'm about to pack out, get all this stuff to the side. So Malik, usually when he come in the cube, dudes leave off so he can get his little towel up and get changed and stuff, right? He rushed. He grabbed his stuff, run to the shower, come back. He like, you seen Scotty? I'm like, no. He like, all right. He started laughing, shook his head. He run off. So usually he don't distract me or stop me, but he's trying to holler at you before you move. So I'm like, cool. I wait. He run back down. I have to get all the little shower stuff situated and spray the shower down because that's a little protocol, right? And spray that boy down, let it marinate for a minute, let them germs get cooked down, then come back and rinse it. So he grabbed me like, come here, dog. He like, listen, man, your man Scotty is in the shower with your OG from down the hall. Both of their feet facing the same way, and Scotty feet in the front. So I'm standing there. I'm like, I'm not even, listen, it's such a puzzle the way he's saying it and describing it. I'm not even thinking about the fact that he's saying two men in the shower. I'm like, they feet facing the same. I said, hold on, what? I said, huh? He said, dog, he ain't been digging up in your man Scotty butt, bro. He said he on his tippy toes, all up in your man's booty hole, bro. I'm like, what? He like, go look. I said, no, I ain't going to look. I'm like, for real? Bro, bro, come on now. He said, I don't play about stuff like that, man. He said, your man Scotty and then taking it up the butt, bro, by your OG. It's the same OG I'm telling y'all that I had to get him together because he was nodding off that pack and had got into his zone and, I had to, secure his investment in his bag for him, right? So I got a twofold whammy on this. I got a dude who an OG who know my pops, right? Who know the legacy of how we get down as far as me being an active Melanic and a dignitary at the time because he's a supporter. And on the flip side, I got my little homie that I've been rocking with in the Cube. And they both gay in the shower right now. I mean, if you gay, like I always say, be, whatever. But it's like, at the time, like I always tell everybody, I wasn't used to none of that. No alternative lifestyles. Nobody but heterosexual relationships. That was the norm for me. You understand what I'm saying? That's still my norm. But I'm not, unfamiliar with the fact that it's all type of alternative lifestyles out here nowadays. But what I'm saying is, it blew my mind. This my little homie. This somebody I've been talking to all night about, like, man, when you come home, come to Detroit, dog. I'm going to show you, we're going to have a good time. My people get to the money, bro. They got the bag crazy out there. Whatever you want to put your hands on, we can touch it. I'm showing him pictures of all type of old schools of rims that I'm coming home to and jewelry they done bought for me and watches. And I'm like, bro, this costs that. I'm just big and, gassing him up a little bit, but it's true. And I'm just really trying to show him, like, you ain't got to be in this little small, little confined town, bored as hell. You done met you a real dude. So that's how I was rocking with him. And I couldn't hold it in. The first night, when he came from the shower, I would just act like I was just laying there with my eyes closed, meditation mode, my headphones on, And most dudes that knew me knew when I'm doing that, leave me alone, because I didn't have to call, like, dog, I had to growl at a couple of dudes, like, dog, I see y'all all day, every day. If you see me with these headphones on, leave me alone. So I played that role, because he know, leave me alone. Because I ain't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Not after the conversations we've been having about, you gonna show me, you gonna put me on some of them little thick white girls, all that little wild stuff that you do when you're young. Because I'm still young. I'm a dignitary. I'm still very founded in my nationalist beliefs at the time. But I'm like, I still was, young. So I'm growing up at the same time. It did something to me, man. Like a lot of these stories I've been telling y'all, it just like snatched something out of me. And like to any young dude who, like I say, like if you got some young family members that's incarcerated and young dudes, period. I don't know if, like, at the time, I didn't know Scotty's whole story. I just was like, damn, my man just got turned out. That's a very true reality for a lot of young white dudes in there. They're already intimidated usually because the majority on the yard that's running stuff and looking like little apes and looking like they're going to tear shit down or tear stuff down rather, is young black dudes, right? And most of them banging. So it's intimidating. So a lot of them already be willing to do damn near whatever to survive, right? Including call home and send that money off. So it's a real impressionable thing for, them young white dudes. It's sad because they prey on them and they be, a lot of them fall victim and end up bending over for a dude. So I always tell people, if you got somebody going through that, incarcerated, or if you yourself throwing rocks at the penitentiary and you one of the dudes that think you can go in there and be tough, there's dudes in there who will get in your ear and get around you with a whole bunch of other dudes and put the pressure on you to flip. You understand? And if you ain't founded in what you say you believe in, you'll be bent over somewhere, dog. And still calling home, asking moms and grandma, I know you got medication to spend to pay for this month, but guess what? I need you to send that money up here. I just want y'all to understand this, man. Like, I found out later on that Scotty, because a couple of days later, I just had to, because I was giving him the cold shoulder. I was like, I'm good with that. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm good at this saying, choop, boop, cutting the light switch off as far as how I feel about you and keeping it pushing and acting like you never existed. So I was really like, I wasn't even looking at dog. You about can ask, you going to child? He asked me 2 or 3 times. I wouldn't even say none of that line. Because I felt, betrayed. You know what I mean? One day he come in there and Malik in there cracking a little over the head jokes, but he catching them a little bit. So I'm not really trying to laugh or nothing because I don't think it's funny. But I just said, man, look, Scotty, man, I got to holler at you for real. And it wasn't nothing but me, him, Malik, and the old head here in there asleep because he used to be off the medicine, the Seroquel real heavy. He was knocked out. But the dude, I asked him, I'm like, you gay, bro? You and the old head, y'all effing? You bending over for dog? His face just turned beet red. And then he was like, man, listen, man. Don't do that, bro. Don't and he was trying to explain something, right? But I was like, Scotty, people done seen you, man, in the shower with this man. Every time it's late, around now it's like 2 or 3 times a week, I'm peeping you. You know what I mean? That's what it seemed like now when I'm looking back. Like, I remember now, like, dang. Looking back, you was sliding here and there. Like, I'm thinking you was out gambling because I know how gambling dudes, they'll stay up if they let the unit stay open all night, they'll stay. Oh, the unit will stay open. They'll be gambling all night. And I asked him, and guess what he say? Well, me and my girl, I've been telling you about, man. We used to do a lot of swinging, a lot of couple swap, a lot of group sex, orgies, part of a few groups. He's like, it's mainly older couples and this, that, and the other. I'm like, so you pitching and you catching. He like, sometimes depending on, the mood. I was buzzed up that day. He gave me some packs and, kind of drifted off a little bit memory-wise. Thought about a lot of stuff and he got to touching me and it got to feeling good. I was like, all right, man, I don't want to hear no more, bro. I don't want to hear no more. That's your business. But damn, it threw me off. So that was that was an eye opener in itself for me as experience as far as prison experiences because, man, I thought this was a little thug. I mean, I can't say, dude, I don't know. It's weird for me because, like, I don't know. I know some gangsters though. I ain't gonna lie, who happen to be gay, but it just was weird because most of them ain't acting like they gang. They ain't out here like I'm tough. They cool. They to themselves. And if you approach them wrong, they gonna handle their business. This wasn't that. This dude was like he was cut like that, and he was the one catching, and I don't know how that worked. That ain't my lane, so I don't want to say nothing wrong to offend nobody. I promise you I don't. I'm just saying, like, it threw me off. It blew my wig, and it was another situation that taught me that you can never be too cautious about who you're around and what they're about when you're in them situations, in the streets and in prison. Because I done ran across stuff like this in the streets too. Matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all some of them. I'm going to give y'all some of these weird stories I done heard about these street dudes over the years. No names involved because I ain't trying to be messy, but it's scenarios and it's something to watch out for, especially if you're a younger dude. Especially if you like 18, 19, somewhere up in there watching the channel, probably with your old head who like this dude funny or I was locked up with him or whatever. This is true accounts of what's going on in the streets and in prison, man. Keep your eyes open, man. Keep the change, bro. I love y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Have a safe Saturday, man. OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the comment section and talk your mess. Share the content. Hit the notification bell. That way when I got some stuff that you may or may not like, you can watch it and tell me if you do or do not like it. I'm out.
Ha.